People expect betrayal to arrive with thunder. Mine came quietly, like a knife slipped between ribs. I still remember the beginning, but only because it feels like a different life. A life belonging to a softer, stupider version of me. I saw George for the first time at a restaurant doorway. Just a brief stare, nothing cinematic, nothing electric. I was pushing the door open, he was pulling it, and our eyes met for 2 seconds that didn't mean anything. The second time, at the corner store a few blocks from my apartment, he recognized me. He paid for my groceries. We talked for a few minutes, easy, straightforward, harmless conversation. He wasn't passion. He wasn't destiny. He was calm. After years of heartbreak, calm felt like safety. Safety felt like love. I didn't fall for him. I settled into him. He proposed months later. I accepted. That's all the romance you need to know. Because the real story didn't begin until he met my sister. Hannah. The golden child. The girl who grew up taking what was mine simply because she could. Toys, friends, attention, her greed was instinct, her entitlement a birthright. I learned young that peace meant surrender. So when she and George clashed during wedding planning, viciously, constantly, I thought it was the universe finally favoring me. I thought the hostility meant distance. But hatred is a thin wall. On the other side, something else was growing. I ignored the signs. The sudden silences. The way their bickering softened around the edges. The sparks that weren't anger at all. Because I was tired of fighting for things that should have been mine. The night of the rehearsal dinner, the hall was warm with golden lights and faces full of expectation. I went looking for George to steal a quiet moment before the night became a blur. I heard whispers before I turned the corner. Soft. Breathless. Not mine. I found them in a dim hallway, my fiancé and my sister, pants shoved down, bodies locked together, so consumed they didn't notice me at first. When they did, they froze. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I felt nothing. Absolutely nothing. Shock is a clean emotion. Pain came later, slow and corrosive. I confronted my mother, desperate for someone to stand beside me in the wreckage. She didn't even flinch. I knew, she said tiredly. I thought it was just a mistake. A mistake. My mother called my sister fucking my fiancé a mistake. Something inside me snapped. But it didn't shatter, it sharpened. The wedding collapsed. George and Hannah vanished together like cowards, reappearing on social media weeks later, announcing their relationship like it was something sacred, something fated. I saw them everywhere, beach pictures, gym selfies, soulmate captions. The kind of nauseating performance only cruel people excel at. I disappeared for 6 months. Not to heal. Not to cry. To plan. Revenge isn't anger. Revenge is architecture. I started with observation, studying George's life, his career, his routines, the places he felt safe. More importantly, I studied the man who held all the power over him, his boss. Daniel. A man with a silent authority that filled every room he walked into. A man feared more than loved. A man who valued honesty above all else, which made him perfect. I followed him online. Not obsessively. Strategically. I learned his habits. The restaurants he favored. The gym he never missed. The quiet bookstore cafe, where he spent Sunday mornings. Then I began placing myself there. Not as temptation, as coincidence. As familiarity. As a face that kept appearing in the soft, forgettable background of his routine. He noticed me. Of course he did. Men like him always notice patterns. He approached me first, polite, curious. A conversation here, a nod there. It didn't take long before he asked me to join him for a coffee. I didn't flirt. I didn't charm him. I didn't need to. I just existed in the spaces he trusted. And one day, when the air between us felt steady enough, I told him what happened. Not all at once, in shards. In sharp, controlled fragments. No tears. No theatrics. Men like him respect pain that doesn't beg. He listened. His expression tightened by degrees. He asked questions that weren't about emotion, they were about facts. Precision. Dates. Names. Details. I gave him everything. Because I knew exactly what a man like him did with betrayal. I didn't need to push him. Men with uncompromising principles destroy dishonesty instinctively. I just had to hand him the truth. And wait. What happened next wasn't loud. It was methodical. One email. One call. One meeting. George lost his job. Then his reputation. Then every reference in every advisory firm connected to Daniel's network. It didn't happen suddenly. It happened like a tower collapsing one floor at a time. I watched it all from a comfortable distance, cold, patient, satisfied. And that was only the beginning. Because revenge doesn't end with pain. It ends with ruin. Revenge tastes better when it's slow. People think the best part is the strike, the moment the knife goes in. No. The best part is the wait. The anticipation. The knowledge that the person who hurt you is walking straight into the trap you built with steady hands. George fell first. After Daniel dismantled his career, I let silence do the rest. Silence is its own weapon, heavier than truth, colder than lies. George applied for job after job. No replies. No interviews. Not even rejections. Just nothing. He didn't know why the world had gone dark around him. But I did. One day I received a message from an unknown number. Can we talk? I didn't respond. I forwarded it to Daniel. George got a warning letter from the Professional Ethics Council the next morning. A reminder of the confidentiality breach he didn't realize he'd committed by sleeping with a client's relative. A fact I didn't know but Daniel helped me uncover. I gleefully smiled. He lost the last scrap of credibility he had left. Hannah fell next. Not with noise, with precision. She'd quit her job to play bride with a stolen fiancé. She assumed the world would applaud her boldness. Instead, she became a running joke in her field. I made sure of it. All I needed was one whisper about her unprofessional entanglement, dropped in the right group chat among the right people, and the rumor spread like smoke through a dry house. No one wanted to hire the girl who slept with her sister's fiancé. No one wanted the chaos she carried. No one wanted her reputation touching theirs. She started uploading desperate positivity quotes on Instagram, the digital cry for help of people who are drowning. I watched. Cold. Unblinking. My mother tried calling me repeatedly. I ignored every attempt. She finally sent a long, rambling voice note about keeping the family together. The family broke the moment they chose sides. I chose quiet. The final strike had to be public. Not loud, public. There's a difference. Daniel invited me to an exclusive company networking gala. A place George would try to sneak into, hoping to crawl back into the world he'd been thrown out of. I wore the dress I bought for my wedding reception, deep burgundy satin, fitted, merciless. A dress that clung like vengeance itself. I did my hair in soft waves. I looked like the version of myself they thought they destroyed. Daniel didn't touch me much that night, but when he did, it was intentional. A hand at the small of my back. A subtle gesture that told the room I wasn't alone. I saw George enter. He spotted me instantly. He froze. Shock first. Then regret. Then humiliation, so raw it flickered across his face like lightning. He approached, desperate, whispering my name. Please. Just talk to me. I looked at him like he was a stranger begging for change outside a bank. What for? He swallowed hard. I made a mistake. Hannah, it didn't mean. He said it loud. Too loud. People turned. Executives. Clients. Daniel. Perfect. I smiled, soft, almost pitying. Thank you, I said. For what? He whispered. For confessing in public. His face broke. Clean in half. Daniel stepped forward. You're trespassing. Please leave. Security escorted him out. Cameras flashed. Someone recorded the scene. The video circulated before the night ended, a disgraced advisor rambling about cheating at a corporate event. He wasn't just unemployed now. He was a punchline. Hannah confronted my mother in a screaming match neighbors heard through thin walls. She accused George of ruining her life. She accused my mother of enabling her. She accused me of sabotaging her happiness. As if happiness stolen from blood was ever real. My mother begged me to come home, to help fix things. I blocked her. When you poison a well, you don't get to cry about the taste. People expect redemption after revenge. Healing. Closure. I wanted none of it. I didn't want forgiveness. I didn't want peace. I wanted balance. And now the equation was complete. George left the country to look for work. Hannah became a ghost online, no friends, no job, no audience. My mother sat in the ruins she helped create. Daniel stayed. Not as salvation. Not as love. As proof that stepping out of the fire doesn't require being rescued. Only reborn. He once asked me if I regretted anything. Only one thing, I said. What? He asked quietly. That I didn't destroy them sooner. He laughed, a low, dark sound, and kissed my knuckles like a man admiring his favorite weapon. Because I wasn't a victim. I was the storm they built. And I finally learned. Some betrayals break you. Mine forged me. Some people forgive. I don't. Some stories end with healing. Mine ends with victory.